I thought like, oh, this is gonna be crazy for just sitting in this room by myself. And how am I gonna be able to feel connected? There's no vibe in here, there's no people to cheer me on. And after a while, you just you go with the flow. And now, as crazy as it may seem or sound, one of the things that people say they love about my Sunday shows here is because they feel it's authentic and it's just me talking to them.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh. We've all been greatly impacted by this global pandemic. As business owners, restaurateurs, and artists, we've been forced to either close our doors or to reimagine a different possibility. What if, though, during these times, you could actually be feeling more content, more inspired, and more in charge of your business? Well, today is a very special ILTV interview because I'm sitting down next to the love of my life, Mr. Michael Lington, who is a world-renowned saxophonist who came here from Denmark. His story of coming to America is amazing on its own, but what I really love, and it only took us a couple years to get here, is what's happening in his business right now. And I was so inspired, I wanted to share it with you. Welcome, honey.
Thank you.
As we're sitting here, literally, we have Landon sleeping.
Right.
We're trying to move around all your production equipment in your studio.
I know.
It's just life.
Yeah,
right?
it's been life for us for the last, 5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knew? Who knew, honestly, that we would have a baby
I know.
and go right into this global pandemic and shutdown?
It was kind of a moment of freak out at first, going, how are we going to make this transition? But somehow we managed, I think, and I think we're lucky to have the space where we can do it in, but also that we figured out what to do.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and the fact that we are on different floors of the house.
I know, we see each other in the passing.
Hi, honey.
Hey.
Okay, so there's so much I want to share. I really have goosies right now because I've been wanting to share your story for so long. And just the other night, we were in the kitchen and you were talking about how you feel right now. And you said something like, I've never felt more at peace. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just such an odd thing because you would think I would be in a state of panic, really. And somehow I found my way around this. And I knew what to do. I don't want to say I knew what to do, but I knew what needed to get done. And then it was just a matter of actually putting the pieces together. And I was lucky to have this space here where I could make music, but I had no clue about video and IT and internet and all that stuff. And I figured it out.
Upload speed and download speed. The conversations we have had, people, I cannot even begin to tell you right now.
Yeah, I know. I promise never to use the word upload speed again. But yeah, so I had some things to figure out. But why am I so at peace and why do I feel so good right now? Because I feel I am, for the first time, I have this strong connection to my audience and my fans that I felt I didn't have before. I would come in for a live show and then be out. Now I feel that there's a community, and every Sunday we all get together and I get to make music right in front of them. They all have a front row seat for every show. And it feels so good. And one of the other big things is that I would rehearse a show for a year and then take my band on the road and would be the same show.
Right.
Now every Sunday it's a different show, so I can make it, I can do the music just from one album. I can make it very special to, it could be a Christmas show. It could be singers and songwriters and whatever I want to do.
It's so much more creative for you.
It is. I never work as hard as I have now and practice as much, but it's so much fun to design a show different every week.
Yeah. Well, I teach people how to be on camera, and you say things to me, Michael, and I'm like, yes, like the level of intimacy that you have through a lens is different than you have on a stage.
Right.
And just to remind you, like, you're a touring artist.
Right.
You make your living by going out on the road. You've completed 11 albums, and you have so much to be proud of. But you went from really being at the mercy of an agent, a manager, and a tour schedule to this beautiful room and camera equipment. And you were talking about a puzzle. It is a puzzle you did not know that there were pieces that went to before.
Absolutely. And I always felt that I needed to be on stage with a band, with a crowd, in order to really feel connected and feel the vibe.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And anytime I was asked to do a track show, which is just basically me playing to a track, so it's kind of a karaoke kind of feel.
Yeah.
I always hated it because it was like, it feels so sterile and naked, and I don't like it. But now I've come to love being able to just create my own vibe. I don't need. I'm sure I'll love it going back on the road again, but I don't need that now. And I've gotten so comfortable with just sitting in this room with a bunch of cameras, and where before I felt like, well, there's nobody around. What do I say? Yeah. What do I do? And now I can literally sit and talk and feel connected. And you just have to keep doing stuff like this and practice this and do it every week.
Let's be honest here. It wasn't as natural in the beginning.
Not at all.
And you evolved a ton in the last few months. And why I want to share this so much with you right now is because you might be in the same place where you make a living through speaking on stages, or you are one-to-one, and you are resisting the virtual space because you're saying to yourself, oh, no, it won't have the same impact. I mean, Michael literally has people signed up for shows Sundays in advance. Like, you created this space for people that they love, Michael. And I have seen you go from where you started to where you are right now, and you are so much more authentic and natural in your delivery because you've been doing it.
Well, I think what it is that before, I would do television, like a morning show or some type of television, I felt I had to be perfect on camera.
You had to be on
and what do I say? I have to be the perfect sentence. And sometimes you get in that environment with cameras and whatever, there's a crew or not, and all of a sudden you go blank, right? And you go, what? And all the stuff you had prepared from sentence one to the last one all went out the window. So I started becoming comfortable because it's not about that. It's not about being perfect. As a matter of fact, perfect to who, right?
Yes.
Like there is no such thing as perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
No. But that's
no,
but you only
we get so caught up in it.
You only discover this by doing.
Right.
So I thought like, oh, this is going to be crazy for just sitting in this room by myself. And how am I going to be able to feel connected? There's no vibe in here. There's no people to cheer me on. And after a while, you just you go with the flow. And now, as crazy as it may seem or sound, one of the things that people say they love about my Sunday shows here is because they feel it's authentic and it's just me talking to them.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm in the right business.
You are. No, it is absolutely crucial. And I have learned more about this in the last 5 months than I have in my entire career. Yeah. And now I have so much amazing footage I can share with the world. And, it's still a learning process.
So much content you can reshare. I mean, it's amazing. Michael, let's also talk about, though, you also went against the grain. So you were out in March performing live, and you knew something was going down, and you knew that you had to pivot. Right? We hear that word so much. Not only did you come home, and I saw you take some massive action, but you also chose a platform that people weren't really using or were that aware of. Yeah. Tell us why you made that decision and how that has helped you in this space.
Well, I chose a platform called StageIt, and the reason is because it is a concert-like experience, right? So people buy tickets, and you have a time that you set, whether it's 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and that's it. And it doesn't get archived. So I like the urgency of that.
So there's no replays.
There's no replays, yeah. So I like the fact that if you want to see the show, you got to be at the show. Yeah. And I also like the fact that I don't want to knock any other social media because they all have a place, they all have an importancy. But for a concert, I would prefer people don't do their emails at the same time, take the trash out, go from concert to concert or from post to post.
Right.
But they just we just have that special connection at that particular moment, and that's exactly what happens. It was a heck of a process trying to get people
to educate people.
How to get over there, and you got to sign up for an account. It's a free account, but you still have to sign up for an account, and then
why aren't you doing it over here or somewhere else?
Take it for example. Facebook Live is a wonderful platform because everybody is there. So and when you go live, there's a notification says you go live, and all you got to do is click. So it's a lot easier. But I like a little more intimate connection, and I like the fact that
a little bit more exclusive.
Exclusive, and I like the fact that it's just in the moment. Unless you're right there, you won't see it on the replay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have created this, again, this incredible following where we took a Sunday off and we had some upset people. I think that they appreciate that you have a little family time too, but like they look forward. You've created this experience, and so much of what I talk about when it comes to video is about creating experiences for the people who are watching and helping them feel something. And you've done that so well.
So I would think that, you need all these things in order for people to have a great experience and feel something. And that's actually not true. What you need is just to be your authentic self and really just try to talk to one person, not like a whole audience. I always thought I had to have a band behind me in order to feel like I could be on. Now I don't even think the fact that I don't have a band. I play to track, so I play to music, but I don't have a band. I don't need the energy. I don't have to go to the guitar player to play off. I can just sit there and just concentrate really on trying to make that one person right in front of me and it feel good, right? One of the things I love is one that I do to the top supporters, the people that you can tip during the show, is that
we highly encourage that you do.
Well, I do a Zoom call or a FaceTime call, and the one things that I love that I'm being told after is they feel that a family member or a friend just walked into the living room, took their instrument out, and are just playing a tune for them in their own living room and having a little chat. And I didn't set out to go like, okay, my shows needs to be authentic, and I need to no. I didn't know how to do that at first. It was only in the process of doing and learning that I became more comfortable. Therefore, people are more comfortable.
Absolutely. It really is just an evolution. I say you get more confident in doing, not thinking. You have to continually do the thing in order to create that. And I don't want to go too much into technology because there's so much else I want to share. But I do want people to understand, Michael, that you literally started this with a ring light and your iPhone. Now, granted, that's not the setup now, and you've really mastered it, but you didn't start with that. You started off with what you knew.
Well, right. So I had a little bit of a recording studio here at the house, and so I had the audio part down. But it's all the video, the IT, the lighting. I honestly, I did not know the difference between upload and download speed when I first started. But I kind of didn't need to because I felt like, well, it sounds great. And then I opened my laptop. There's a camera right on the laptop. Wow, this looks great.
Live,
maybe not so much. But I mean, so, but I did my first show like that. And you know what? Guess what?
It just grows with
worked.
you. We have to get over this need of having it all figured out and just start it and be organic.
Yeah, because if I had to wait to go, okay, I need 3 cameras, I need motorized sliders, I need this and that, I still wouldn't have done my first show. So each show that I do, I try to add another new little element, right? Like just to kind of, and also I don't feel freaked out about the technology part because, okay, for the previous show I had managed what I was dealing with. Okay, I got this now. Now you can add a little thing once at a time. So it's just about adding little things and whatever that is in your message or in technology. As long you just have to feel comfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, people will feel comfortable.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. He has so much going on in the background. You've got to check out one of his shows. Go to StageIt.com. We'll put a link here in the notes so you can see them. But there are so many things I want to talk about, Michael. Your story about coming here. You're from Denmark. What is it? Like less than 1% of people really make a living out of the entertainment industry, whether it's movies, media, music, and you have established an incredible career. And can you just tell us a little bit about your story of how you got here and what is it, Michael, that you have this career that most people would dream of? Like what was it for you?
Well, the same, now that you asked me that question, the same thing that just happened 5 months ago about coming home from a show going, I'm not going to be touring for maybe a year or 2.
Or more,
I need to do something, and I just need to take action now. I literally was down here on the floor, changing cables, pulling things out, pulling old equipment I had down below, right?
I was like, where are you?
For hours a day. The same sort of tenacity I had when I was 21 or 20. I met somebody that you also know, a dear friend, Mark Schulman, who was, by the way...
We interviewed him.
Yeah, that's right.
Great interview.
And we met in Copenhagen, and I looked at him, and we got along. First of all, we hit it off. It was a very chance meeting, but we met, and he was on tour with Richard Marx. Remember Richard Marx?
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we met, and we sort of became friends. And then I was 20 at the time. I said, Mark, I want to come to America, where he lived in Los Angeles. And same thing. It's like, I just got to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to be able to legally stay. How am I going to meet people? I really just know one person. And I just went. I sold my car, got rid of my apartment, and I came over and I stayed on this couch. But again, it was one of those things. Is like, sometimes not knowing what you're getting yourself into is actually a good thing.
So true.
because if you do, you have all the reasons to talk yourself out of it, and not knowing, and maybe just telling yourself, you know what, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. It's not going to be that difficult. Maybe deep back, that it might be difficult, but just do it. And I always have had that, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen, right?
You don't make it, you go back to Denmark.
You come over here and you have a great time for a little bit, and I couldn't make it work. And you go back and you had the experience. So I always say, just go for it. What is the worst that can happen?
Talk about just go for it. You're 50.
Yeah.
Well, you were 50.
Thanks for reminding
You're welcome.
me. Yeah.
And you just had your first baby.
I did.
You did.
It's something that I have wanted for a long time, but it's and it's really apparent to me
Talk
now.
about just go for it.
Yeah, just go for it. Well, I mean, you were great in sort of. We had that conversation early on because you already had a child, and you'd pretty much. That was it, right?
I was good.
Yeah,
I was good.
Yeah. And you asked me early on if we if that was something I wanted, and I did. I think you got the sense that I did, right? But wasn't really sure, or was this going to be the right timing? By the way, there's never no right timing.
Right.
You just go for it, and then you figure out the
Right,
timing later on.
exactly.
But yeah, it was something, and I figured, I was 50, and I was like, if it's going to happen, it needs to happen now. And also, by the way.
Yes.
Most importantly, you need the right partner to have a child with, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner than you knew. And you've proven yourself so many times over and over again. But I was very lucky to find you, and the fact that you were okay having a child, and now we have this. I mean, you can't even imagine him not existing.
I can't.
Right?
Like, it's actually making me teary-eyed right now because you think about that place in your life, and whether it's parenthood or business or whatever, and you're like, well, is it time? Is it not the right time? And I remember we both said, look, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's okay. It wasn't the plan. And I think it was within a month, we were pregnant, and it just has been so smooth. And then we have him in this pandemic, and it's like, oh my gosh, with a 5-year-old at home. And yet I have to say, Michael, and I really mean that, Landon is so blessed to have you as his dad.
Wow.
And I feel like through this pandemic, we've actually become closer as a family because we get to be there more.
Well, what's interesting is also us moving in together. We're both have our own business, kind of sort of running it out of the house, except that I was traveling a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, but my concern about moving in together at first was how are we going to be able to coexist since I have my studio here and be in the same place day and night. But somehow we have really managed that. And also, the fact that I always say, oh, I'm going to be on the road half the time. So, we'll have that space. Now I'm not. I've been on the road for 5 months,
space,
right? But even then,
we're
we're still able to coexist. And I think that proves that when you meet the right person, the right partner, and it's the right fit, it just works.
It does.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Thank you for sharing today. We probably need to wrap this up because Landon's going to wake up soon.
You don't want a crying baby?
I don't want a crying baby. Anything that you want to share. I love the story and where you're at right now with someone who, like you, Michael, knows that they have something that they want to offer, and maybe they're fighting this new normal or believing in themselves. Because
I have learned this, I don't want to say the hard way, but I have really come to understand how important content is, for furthering your career. I would say, I know you're in the video world and you're in the, content, very, and for the people considering getting behind the camera or in front of the camera, as you said, to share their message, the sooner you do it, the better off you are. And I'll tell you, one of the things I get asked on my Sunday StageIt shows, please don't stop doing it when you go back on the road, because this has become one of our favorite things. And I just realized, well, I should have done this way earlier.
Yeah.
Why didn't I not do this earlier? But I just didn't know. I didn't, maybe weren't comfortable. And
We can thank COVID for something. Right.
Right, but
Yeah.
and now it's the weirdest thing. We talked a little bit about it earlier. It's like I used to sit and wait for basically the green light from whatever it was, an agency or a manager or some other, like, okay, now you can go and play this gig. Now you can do this and that. Now I wake up every day and I can create my own content. I can create my show. I can do. I can work today. I cannot work today, but I can totally. Kind of shape my own future, and I still have partners. Are very important to have great partners in your business.
Sure.
But it's nice to not always have to sit and wait for the green light, and just can be able to go and do it.
And that is the beautiful thing about this time we have right now, is that we have no barrier to entry. Everyone has access to being online, to having these amazing experiences and creating great impact in people's lives. You just have to give yourself permission to show up. And then you need to be consistent and provide great value. That really is the secret. It's not a secret. It's just you deciding that what you do matters, and that there's people out there waiting for you. So thank you for blessing us with your music, and
thank you
for me being such a great partner and support in my life.
Thank you, honey. I love you too.
Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this Inspired Living interview. I hope you are inspired. I hope you see great possibility for you and your business right now. Of course, we would love to hear from you, so please post your comments. And if you're inspired, please take a moment and share this with someone, because when you're inspired, you inspire others, and we need a lot more of that right now. Until next time, keep dreaming it, living it, and being it.